What's up, YouTube? I'm Cullum Costello. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Today's video is going to be on the home building sector. We're going to take a look at some home building stocks to see if we can find some opportunities, as I do think we might see a pullback in the future. Please feel free to like and subscribe at any time, as I really appreciate it and it helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Now let's get into the video. Here's a recent meme that popped up on Reddit. You may have seen this one used before, but now the Reapers hit Zillow, Opendoor, the Flippers, and now he's on to the home builders. Last month, KB Homes, one of the largest builders in the country, said that 68% of its orders for new homes last quarter were canceled. That is more than 2/3 of their orders. One factor weighing in on home sales, a lot of buyers are backing out of contracts. The national cancellation rate is now about 20%. That's about twice the typical rate. This mostly comes down to affordability. Building a new home can take months or years. A lot can change between the time a buyer puts down a deposit and locks in a mortgage rate to close the deal. For example, if somebody signed a contract early last year, they thought they would be buying a house at a 3% interest rate. Now they're buying a house at a 6% interest rate. This can lead to buyers no longer qualifying for a mortgage, or they just decide they can no longer afford the house. Buyers are also canceling because they're struggling to sell their current houses in a sluggish market. Also, cancellations have been higher in places where prices recently shot up during the pandemic. Home prices are growing more slowly and even falling in some markets because buyers are getting cold feet. Nobody wants to rush into a falling market and have negative equity in a house that they just purchased. Stick around, you guys. We're going to check out the home builder stocks that I have lined up in just a second after we look at a little bit more data. Sales of new single-family houses in the U.S. increased 2.3% month over month to a seasonally adjusted annualized rate of 616,000 in December of 2022. The highest value in 4 months, compared to market forecasts of 617,000. Sales soared in the Midwest 35.2% to 73,000, in the South 6.5% to 392,000, but fell in the Northeast, negative 19.4% to 29,000, and the West, negative 15.3% to 122,000. You blew it! The median price of new houses sold was $442,100, while the average sales price was $528,400. There were 461,000 houses left to sell, the same as in November, corresponding to 9 months of supply at the current sales rate. Considering full 2022, an estimated 644,000 new homes were sold, 16.4% below the 2021 figure of 771,000, and the lowest levels in 4 years due to rising mortgage rates. You guys, now let's take a look at our first home builder stock, ticker symbol KBH for KB Homes. This is the home builder that just recently in the fourth quarter reported the 68% cancellation rate. Here we are on Yahoo Finance under ticker symbol KBH for KB Homes. KBH stock pays a dividend at this time of 1.61%, and they have a market cap of $3.206 billion. KBH stock ended the trading day today at $38.17. KB Homes also announced on Friday the grand opening of its newest community in highly desirable St. Johns County. In Jacksonville, Florida, on February 10th, KB Homes announced its latest new single-family home community situated off Racetrack Road in St. Johns County. Alright, you guys, now we're going to take a look at the candlestick charts for ticker symbol KBH or KB Homes stock. But first, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. It's free, and all you're going to do is learn about more ways to make money grow. Here's the one-day candlestick chart for KBH stock or KB Homes. So each of these candles would represent how KBH stock traded for 1 day. Take a look at that red line at the top of the screen there. That's the resistance level for KBH stock. KBH stock's been hitting resistance around $40.46, but if you break past that, we look for resistance levels to become support. At the time of this video, KBH stock has traded down for about the last 6 days and is looking to find support, throwing in a higher high and a higher low there on the daily chart. And now we're looking at a weekly candlestick chart for KB Homes or KBH stock. So each of these candles would represent how the stock traded over one full trading week. Over the past couple weeks, KBH stock has been putting in a lower high. So I'll be watching the end of this week to see what the formation is on this weekly candle to see if it puts in a lower low and breaks trend. Now that we're through talking about KB Home stock, let's talk about the next home builder's stock, ticker symbol TOL, a luxury home builder known as Toll Brothers. Here we are on Yahoo Finance under ticker symbol TOL for Toll Brothers Incorporated stock. You can see that Toll Brothers ended the day trading at $59.78 with a market cap of $6.61 billion. Toll Brothers stock also pays a dividend of 1.36% at this time. Here's the 6-month, one-day candlestick chart for ticker symbol TOL or Toll Brothers Incorporated stock. So each of these candles would represent how the stock traded over one day. Toll Brothers stock and the majority of the home builders stocks have been in a nice steady uptrend. However, I did find a couple gaps below that could eventually get filled if there is a pullback. The first gap that could get filled below is at $53.96 up to $54.37. There's also a gap way down in the 40s at $43.33 up to $43.78. I'm not saying these gaps will be filled tomorrow or anytime very shortly, but over time, most gaps do get filled. However, there are breakaway gaps that don't get filled when there's a big change in management or big news with the company. On the weekly chart, TOL stock is forming a flag pattern. So I'm watching for it to either break out of this pattern to the upside or break support and fall into the downside. So now that we've gone through our first two home builders stocks, ticker symbol KBH and ticker symbol TOL, let's take a look at the next home builders stock, Lennar Corporation, ticker symbol LEN. This is also a large home builder in the US. Here we are under ticker symbol LEN for Lennar Corporation. You can see that Lennar Corporation ended the day trading at $104.55 today. Lennar Corporation has a market cap of $29.688 billion. They are also paying a dividend of 1.47% at this time. Now we're going to take a look at the stock charts for LEN stock right after you take a second and hit that thumbs up button down below to help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Hey, thanks a lot. Now to show my appreciation, here's a picture of Lloyd and Daisy. Here is the one-day candlestick chart for ticker symbol LEN or Lennar Corporation stock. Lennar Corporation stock has been in a steady uptrend, and you see it just had a recent breakout candle up there where I drew the blue arrow. We're seeing down below in the mid-80s from 81.66 to 82.65. There is a small gap down there that it could fill if it breaks the trend and comes down for a correction. When a stock comes down and fills a gap, I look for that gap to become a strong area of support. And here we are looking at the 2-year, 1-week candlestick chart. So each of these candles represent how Lennar Corporation stock traded over a whole week of trading. On the weekly chart, I'll just be looking for higher highs and higher lows, or looking for it to put in a lower low and a lower high and possibly break the trend and come down for a correction. Also, I'll be watching the selling volume and the buying volume. At the bottom of the chart there, you see the red and green candlesticks that represent buyers and sellers in the market. Now that we've learned a little bit about Lennar Corporation stock, let's talk about the next home builder. That's ticker symbol DHI for DR Horton Incorporated stock. Here we are under ticker symbol DHI for DR Horton Incorporated stock. DHI stock ended the day trading today at $100.52 per share, with a market cap of $34.518 billion. DR Horton also has a dividend of 1.01%. And here is the 1-year, 1-day candlestick chart for ticker symbol DHI or DR Horton Incorporated stock. DHI has also been in a nice uptrend, and it also has a gap below. You see that gap right there around $80. Right now, DHI stock is sitting on support, so I'll be watching to see if it breaks that for a possible turnaround to the downside. Here we are on the weekly candlestick chart for DHI stock, and what could be forming is what's called a head and shoulders pattern, which often signals a reversal to the downside. I'll be watching the selling volume to see if it increases, and I'll be watching that top wick area a couple weeks ago to see if we can break through that resistance and hold the uptrend. Alright you guys, this is going to bring us to the last home builder stock of the video. Now this stock I recently shorted at $60 and I just closed my position on Friday, but there's another gap that this could fill below. So let's take a look at Pulte Management Group, ticker symbol PHM. Here we are under ticker symbol PHM for Pulte Group Incorporated stock. Pulte Group ended the day trading at $57.39. with a market cap of $12.947 billion. Pulte right now is paying a dividend of 1.14%. And here we are on the 1-year, 1-day candlestick chart for Pulte Group or PHM stock. I actually shorted this right around $60 and closed out the position at the end of the week last week, right around 56 and change or something, for a nice little profit, and I wanted to take some gains while I had them, as in this market, you got to take profits. However, you can see we're holding a support of just around 55 right now. If it does break down through that 55 area support, it could come down and fill that big gap that you see just above 52.50 there. And there's also another gap down below. If you see that I drew the two lines down below there. That's a long ways away, but with a nice correction, it could come down and fill that also. But I'll be watching selling volume to see if it increases on PHM stock. And on the weekly candlestick chart for Pulte Group, we're seeing kind of a triangle pattern or a flag pattern form there. So I'd like to see a higher high and higher low to continue to the upside. But like I said, if we break to the downside, we could come down and fill that gap. If we do come down and fill the gap below, I would like to see that form support and watch to see if buyers step in to see if it continues to the upside. Alright you guys, well if you stayed till the end of the video, now let's hear what I'm looking to do with these stocks. As I just said, I did short Pulte at $60 and I recently closed the position, which I may, if they break the support level they're currently at, I may reopen a short position. But these stocks have been a steady growers, and they also pay dividends, so I might just wait for pullbacks and look to start small positions and maybe dollar cost average in over time on the ones that I like best. This is not financial advice, it's simply what I'd like to do with my portfolio. However, if I see crucial support levels broken in any of these stocks, I may buy put options to make some money on the downside and then wait for a substantial pullback to open a starter position, as this market is a tough one to go long in right now with the volatility. But only time will tell, as it's time in the market and not timing the market. Now thank you so much you guys for staying to the end of the video. Hit that subscribe button, tap that thumbs up, and go out and get money.